everyone. In this video lecture, we are going to see one topic from the third unit. The third unit is supervised learning. For the subject artificial intelligence and machine learning, we are going to see the first topic in the third unit, that is the introduction to machine learning. Objectives are to study, to understand the basic concepts of machine learning, to learn about the types of machine learning. Machine learning is a subfield of artificial intelligence that involves the development of algorithms and statistical models that enable computers to improve their performance in tasks through the experience. These algorithms are modeled and designed to learn from data, and it is used to make the predictions or decisions without explicit instructions. We know the machine learning is a growing technology which enables computers to learn automatically from the past data. They uses various algorithms for building mathematical models and making predictions using historical data or information. Machine learning having the applications in various tasks such as image recognition, speech recognition, email filtering, Facebook auto tagging, recommender system, etc. As we told, machine learning system learn from the historical data, and from the data and with the given input it is used to build the prediction models, and whenever it receives the new data it predicts the output. This is the workflow of machine learning system. The machine learning algorithm will learn from the here in machine learning data set is very important. The data set means the historical data or the data about the particular area in which the system is going to solve a problem or going to predict something. So the machine learning algorithm will first of all it will study from the data set and it will make a model, logistical model. Then new data will be applied. It will consume the new data and the new data will be applied to the logistical already developed model, and finally the output will be produced. So as per the knowledge learned from the existing data set, the machine learning system will provide the output for the new data. So the machine learning uses data to detect various patterns in a given data set. So it can learn and it will improve the performance. It is a data, since everything is learned and processed by the data, it is data driven technology. It is similar to the data mining, since it will deal with a large amount of data. There are several types of machine learning are available. The major classifications are supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Supervised, let us see. Before getting into the types, we can see one small example of machine learning system. A computer program is said to learn from the experience. Experience means experience will be given in a form of data set. E is the experience, and the system is going to do some task. Task is denoted as T, and the performance measure is denoted as P. So the concept is performance of doing the task T is measured by P, improves with the experience E. And we can see the example, handwriting recognition learning problem. The task T is recognizing and classifying handwritten words within images, and the performance of particular system is percentage of words correctly classified, and the training experience E, a data set of handwritten words with given classifications. Similarly, we can see robot driving learning problem. The task is driving on highways using vision sensors, and the performance of a particular system is average distance traveled before an error. Training experience is a sequence of images and steering commands recorded while observing a human driver. And first type of machine learning is supervised learning. It is a machine learning. It's a task of learning a function that maps an input into an output based on given input-output pairs. So in supervised learning, problems can be divided into two types: classification and regression. So in supervised learning, there will be in data set there will be the input output pairs. So for a given data, it will find out the corresponding output by analyzing the existing input output pairs in the data set. Let us see one data set having three columns: gender, age, label. One important thing about the supervised learning is the data will be the labeled data. So here the labels are sick or healthy, and gender, for the gender and age details are there. So in supervised learning, the data are trained with the labeled training data. On the basis of that data, machines will predict the output for the particular input conditions. So here a set of input output variables will be there, input variable and the output variable. There will be the mapping function. So for the new input, it will find out the output. So in real world, supervised learning can be used for risk assessment, image classification, fraud detection, spam filtering, etc. So this is the diagram showing the process of supervised learning. There are the data set. Data sets are having the labeled data. For example, in this data set, there are some shapes are there. Shapes are labeled with its name. That is, particular shape is hexagon, square, triangle. So the labels are available with the data items. And the machine learning algorithm will analyze the data sets and it will construct one model. Then after that, when a user is giving a new data, the new data is called as test data. So the machine learning algorithm will process the test data. The test data will be applied to the model and it will do the prediction. That is, it will identify what will be the types of objects given in the test data. So by analyzing it with the model, already it learned from the existing data set, it can tell this particular shape is square, this particular shape is triangle. So in this way, machine learning algorithm is used to predict the output scenarios from the existing data set. Then unsupervised learning may be of two types: regression and classification. Regression algorithms are used if there is a relationship between the input variable and the output variable. So it is used for the prediction of continuous variable such as weather forecasting, market trends. So if the value is continuous, then it is used to predict the output. Unsupervised learning is the second category of machine learning. So it is the type of machine learning in which models are trained using the unlabeled data set. So here supervised learning means data set will be labeled. Unsupervised learning will be performed with the data set. The data set may be of unlabeled. So the goal of unsupervised learning is to find the underlying structure of the data set, group that data according to similarities, and represent that data set in a compressed format. So the unsupervised learning is helpful for finding useful insights from the data. And uncategorized, it can process uncategorized data, which make unsupervised learning more important. So here in this scenario, there is a data. Data consists of the images of animals. Here the data are unlabeled data, and it will process the data set, and it is what is happening is, it based upon the appearance and the structure of the images available in the data set, it will analyze and it can classify the data. It can classify the data into two groups. For example, one kind of structures are classified as dogs, another kind of animals are classified as cats. So based upon the similarity and dissimilarity, it can classify the data into different groups. This is called as classification. So classification is one of the tasks performed by unsupervised learning. So there are several unsupervised learning algorithms are there, such as k-means clustering, decision tree, etc. So the unsupervised learning will perform categorized into two types of problems: clustering and association. Clustering means grouping the objects into clusters, such as objects with most similarities remains to a group and less similarities with, with the objects of another group. So clustering means making the clusters with the data objects. So this is called as cluster analysis. So the cluster analysis finds the commonalities between the data objects and categorizes them as per the presence and absence of those commonalities. Commonalities means common features. Then association. So association rule is an unsupervised learning method which is used to finding the relationship between the variables in the large data set. The third type of machine learning is reinforcement learning. It is the problem of getting an agent to act in the world so as to maximize its performance. So reinforcement learning is similar to the intelligent agent. The agent will work on the environment. So when it performs some task to the environment, it will wait for the feedback from the environment. Okay. So it is feedback is given in the form of rewards. So it can get positive reward or negative reward. So the aim of the agent is to increase the rewards, to increase the positive rewards. So it will try to avoid the negative points, negative rewards. So as to, it will always try to improve its performance based upon the feedback given from the environment. So this is happening in the reinforcement learning. Semi-supervised learning. So in semi-supervised learning, some data will be labeled and some other data will be unlabeled. So both labeled and unlabeled data may be available in the data set, and this learning can deal with this kind of data sets. And again we are seeing the different processes happening in the machine learning algorithms. Classification is inputs will be divided into two or more classes based upon the attributes, and regression is as we told, regression is applicable if the inputs are continuous variables. Then clustering is dividing when a set of inputs is to be divided into groups to if it is necessary to form the clusters based upon the similarities of data items. The machine learning algorithm will categorize the data into groups, that is called as clustering. So that's all about the topic. Thank you.